guys, welcome to Welcome to another episode of the Cat Lady channel. My name is Andrea, also known as Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, CATT, which stands for Craft All the Things. It has been a hot minute. I will go into details at the end because I'm gonna get sad, so I'd like to just get through the fun stuff first. And then we'll do a separate clip at the end so I don't have to go into oh, this is miserable, but look what I've made. So anyways, just that quick PSA. If you're new, that will make no sense to you, but I am a fiber-related channel that works on knitting, crochet, spinning, all sorts of crafty things such as that. I also have a Cricut, and I just do whatever floats my boat and comes my way. Sewing, anything. Crafting, all the things, essentially. But I primarily focus on the yarn crafts, as you can see from my yarn wall, and I do a lot of crochet and knitting, and that's what you'll see. So if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me as The Cat Lady on Instagram and Facebook. I also have a Discord server. Everything I talk about, and usually things that I'm wearing, if it's craft related, will be posted down below in the description. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. You can email me at craftycatlady or thecatladydesigns@gmail.com. Again, I think all my info should be below. So, but I have been terrible at responding to comments. I am trying to respond to everyone's comments. So if I haven't responded, I will. So I plan on sitting down, hopefully this week, which by the time you see this, I post snippets throughout the week and post on Fridays. So by the time you see this, hopefully I will have responded to all the comments that I am backlogged on. So usually, thankfully, YouTube will just if you log into the studio, it'll just give you all the comments you have not responded to. So it's all in one place. So I don't have to search around for them. I just need to go through, say thank you, or comment on whatever you were talking about. Usually if people have a specific question they've asked me, I'm sure I've missed some, but I had someone that needed help with a pattern question. I try to respond to those, of course. But I've had some people make suggestions of videos, and I just haven't got around to it because life has been crazy. So anyways, so what have I been working on? So last you saw, I was working on the Lotus skirt by Namaste and Crochet. Ooh, shoot. And I already recorded an intro in my car, and then I decided I scrapped it. So this is take 2. So I already moved the stitch marker, but I will show you where the stitch marker was because I'm not going to move it again. So last you saw this, it was about, it doesn't look like I did a lot, but it really is a lot. This is complicated because this is the back side, because now I'm working on the wrong side of the work, because that's just the way the pattern goes, and it's getting kind of big and bulky, so it's really hard to show. But let's see. Okay, so last you saw, I was right here. I was in section B, in these little triangle sections, and I added a whole nother section. So now I'm on section C, which is these petals down here. So I have worked. It's really hard to show. Okay, here. So okay, I've worked one petal here, and now I'm on the back side working the petal that's in between. So you you've skipped over a section, so now I'm working in between. So it's gonna be like a layered effect, essentially. So this is gonna hang down from here. Overall, I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous how this is gonna turn out. It looks gorgeous. I do worry that it's too wide, but I mean, you needed to take the waist needed to be the width of your widest part of your hips. So this is technically the widest part of my hips, but I didn't put any negative ease. It's exactly the width of my waist. I probably should have made it a little bit tighter, but I didn't want it super tight on my booty either. But I just feel like it's going to be really cinched in at the top. But I mean, it's supposed to be kind of flowy and whatever. So I mean, that makes it look more kind of flowy. So I'm trusting the process, even though I've heard some reviews that have been so. But everyone I've seen, it looks beautiful. So I'm crossing my fingers, because this has been a lot of work, a lot of yarn. It's getting awful heavy. I do hope that adding that extra repeat isn't gonna kick me in the butt. Now, ideally, I have it sized for right here. My natural waist is more up here, so if for some reason it's extra long, I can either put heels on, which is I have some cute wedges I can put on, or I can just scooch it up to my actual natural waist, which if I make the top, I kind of want it to line up together so there's no crop, because it is a short, kind of a cropped bralette type top, the Lotus top. So ideally, I even might try to attach it with some kind of mesh to make it look like one piece. we'll see. So, but one step at a time. We're on section C, which is the final section. You just have to work these petals, and then, excuse me, and then there's one like giant petal that you add length until you need it. But this will need to be blocked a little bit, at least, because like, yeah, these like petals are kind of wonky. So there will be blocking to be done, but I don't want to like overstretch it wide because I don't want it any wider. Maybe at the bottom, I don't know. Again, I'm just gonna play by ear, and it's gonna be huge. I don't even know how I'm gonna block it. I have some foam pads, but I don't have enough. I don't know if we just hang it, if that's gonna be enough to just the weight. I don't know. I'll just have to, probably just have to lay it out on the ground and like press it flat with my hands, just make sure everything is laying flat. So that has been my biggest project. Now, that is made with Lion Brand Pima cotton. Again, the pattern called for just changing hook size. So like I started with a F hook, I think, and I think I just went right up to the H instead of the G in between. I don't know. I was feeling weird about it. So I don't know, but this is Lion Brand Pima cotton. I got a ton more. I had gotten an extra 6 skeins. I still have 3 more in here. So I should have enough yarn. So, and then I want to make the top, matching top with the same color. So that's that. Secondly, I've continued working on my spinning. So this is the eel wheel. I don't know if I showed off the actual wheel. I think I did. This is my electric eel wheel. This is like the only like the first or the second, I think maybe like second model. But it's a full size wheel, so it'll take a full bobbin, which is, that's what I wanted. The nanos are cool, but I don't want tiny amounts. It's kind of like the same as using a spindle where you can only get like 2 ounces on. So I can get a full 4 ounces on here. I've done all the singles. So now I'm working on the 2-ply. So pretty much I can just sit here and just keep going. Obviously I have to move the little hook around. I do feel like, I don't know if I'm putting enough twist into it. It is tricky to use this a little bit, but I don't know. This was, I don't even know what this is. I think it's some sort of merino silk or merino tencel, because based on the chunks of like little chunks, I really think it's a merino silk blend. And it's really soft. It was very felty, so I had to kind of like pre-draft it a lot, but it was something my mom got from a garage sale for like $1. So, and I don't know how much it is. It looks like a decent amount though. I mean, it's close to a full skein, so I'll have to measure it when I'm done. But I plan to get that done this week. So hopefully that'll be done by Friday. I'll have to like skein it and wash it and whatever. So, but that will be done. It's really pretty. It's like a nice bluish color. So I'm working on that. I'd really like to work on my granny square, or my granny fanny. If you have followed me for a bit, I was working on that. I have not touched the fabric. I need to find the video again to figure out how to line it. So it's a little fanny pack that I need to cut some fabric and line it, put a zipper in it, and then put a whole strap on it. So it's kind of an involved project that I'm not super familiar with, but I want to do it. So I sold my circular sock machine. So I bought a new one. I don't have it yet. So I had a Erlbacher Speedster circular sock machine. It was a beautiful purple. That is one thing I regret, is like, I loved my purple color. It was a custom color. Of course I paid extra for that. But there's a new machine that's out now. It's called TrueKnit. The maker of that used to work for the Speedster, or Erlbacher. So she's very attuned to machines. She knows how they work, whatever. And she kind of broke off and designed her own machine with a lot of different features that are supposed to be easier to use, like, because circular sock machines definitely are tricky. And someone in my neighborhood happens to have one. And so she's like, oh, do you want to come try it out? I said, I would love to come try it out. So I went, and I haven't touched my machine in probably at least a year. I went over to her house and I loaded all the rubber needles and I ribbed, which is like, if you've used a circular sewing machine, that's the part that gets really hard, is using the ribber and getting it all right. Well, like that one, this newer machine, it just like works. Now, that's not to say I'm not gonna have problems potentially here and there, but the owner of the company is very responsive to email, text, whatever. So if I have problems, I have a lady down the street she's got multiple machines and would potentially help me out. So anyways, I decided, okay, for a whim, I'm going to list my machine And if I sell it, then I can buy the other one, because obviously they're expensive machines, and I sold mine for a decent price. Like, I obviously lost a little money because I didn't really recoup for the custom color, and I couldn't recoup for, you know, certain things, accessories or whatever that I purchased. But I recouped all the money for the actual machine, so that was pretty ideal. Before I gave it away, I'm like, I'm gonna make sure it still actually functions well, and I made a pair of socks. So I made my final pair of heel tab shorty socks, which I do love these, and I did mess up a couple times, but you know, not gonna be noticeable to anybody but me. I like did an extra weird row on the both, but I did it on both so they match on the heel tab part. But this is called Active yarn. It's kind of a sturdy, I would call it a sturdy wool yarn. It's a little bit scratchy, kind of toothy, which is, it's nice for socks. I like this colorway, don't know what it's called, but yeah, I made a pair of socks for me before I left. I kitchenered them, which turned out horribly, but fine. Again, you can't notice. Honestly, my kitchener looks pretchener good. You can't really see where I kitchenered it. But I screwed up on both of them. Like, I missed a stitch. So there was like a loose stitch at the end that I had to like pick up and weave in. It's not my favorite part for sure. So, but I have a pair of socks. They're not even, these aren't even washed or anything. So these are just straight off the machine and onto the blockers, and they fit, and they might be, they're a tad loose, but again, after I wash them, maybe toss them in the dryer once, they'll snug up a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that the machine was good. I sold it to someone local because I didn't want to ship it. I had never even touched. So I traded this machine that came with two cylinders, not traded. I sold my old machine, which came with 2 cylinders. I never touched the second one. I never pulled it out at all. It was still in the box. I never touched it. I only used the rubber like once or twice, and it was chaotic at best. It worked, but I just didn't love it. I didn't love the experience. So the new machine only comes with 1 set of cylinder rubber combination, but it's the one that I always used and the one that I like. So I figure if I really get into it and really want to try a second rubber size, then I'll just get it done at that point. And there was like the crank. You can get 2 different kinds of cranks, which you could on the other machine too. I got the regular 1-to-1, which I'm hoping I don't regret, because a lot of people like the reduced one, which you crank more but less. Like, it's less, it's not as big. So like the 1-to-1, you crank 1 full crank and it's 1 full round, which for me, that is like, I like that, because then like my handle always ends up at the same spot and it's just easier for me to track. Whereas the reduced, it's like 1 1/3 ish cranks will make a round, but it's smaller, so it's smaller crank, so it's less. But so far I don't have any. This shoulder's fine. My cranking shoulder's fine, so it should be fine. But you can replace that out as well. So if I need to swap that out at a later date, I can. I kept my table, which table's not necessarily compatible. My kids just came back, so they're gonna complain, or they're gonna interrupt me. It's summer break. So, but that's it. Anyways, that's it for today. So I'm going to keep working on some of the projects I have. And again, I record throughout the week, so I will come back with you next time and show you where I've been, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, welcome back. One day I will get a better camera setup. Like, every time I try to get my camera, I'm using my phone. Actually, I'm using a backup phone. We have like an old phone, which actually I think takes better video than my current phone, so whatever. Tangent. But I have it all weird on my tripod, and so like it's like every time I have it situated, it's always slightly different, and it's annoying. I try always to base it on my sign. Like, I try to get my sign in there. So anyways, it's Friday. Of course, my spinning wheel, I meant to grab it and I didn't. It's over there. Actually, nothing. Oh no, there is something on it. Okay, anyways, one thing I forgot to share on Monday, I think I recorded. So yeah, I haven't got a lot done this week, but I've got some things done. But on Monday, I was going to also share that I got another spinning wheel. No idea what it is. It's definitely an antique wheel. My friend, who I don't talk to very often, she's a high school or a childhood friend. She called me randomly, like a couple weeks ago. And she's like, there's this thing on the side of the road. It looks like a fiber thing or something. And she's like, did she send me a picture of it? I think. I can't remember. She's like, or no, she didn't, because I don't know what it looked like. She's like, I think it's a spinning wheel or makes yarn or something. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, how much is it? She's like, it's free. I'm like, oh, we'll take it. Yeah, no idea what it is. So I went over there and got it last weekend. And yes, I will put in some pictures of it. It's currently sitting in my garage. It's got a bunch of parts with it. I have no clue. So I have to go figure out how to figure out if this thing can be functional. Like, it looks like it's in kind of rough shape, but I don't know. I need to find like a local spinning guild or something, or someone that's knowledgeable about antique wheels. If you have any information, let me know. But some pieces pop in and do something. It's got like all the pieces I think it needs, but it's beat up. But if I can get it together and make it look kind of pretty, I could put it somewhere. So that's kind of where we're at. But it was free. I wasn't going to say no. But back to spinning. So I finished the project I had on my wheel, this mystery yarn. So for not spinning in so long, besides my spindle, drop spindle, you know, more stuff, for not spinning like for a long time and just getting this going, this turned out pretty good. It's probably it's like a fingering weight. Maybe some areas are sport. It is only 2 ounces, so I thought it was more than it was. It is about 2 ounces, so half a skein of yarn. So no idea what to make with this. It's pretty soft. So it's like a merino. I'm pretty sure it's a merino silk, like I said before. So like, what could I do with half a skein of yarn? I could make a hat or something. Maybe a little cowl kerchief thing or something. I don't know, something cute. Maybe like a little, like a small bandana type cowl. I don't know. Maybe something lacy, so it's using bigger needles and kind of airy. So that's what I'll look into, because that is cute. And it's, yeah, and I like the color. It's like a pretty bluish color, bluish gray. So on a whim, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put something else on the wheel. So I did a sample because, okay, this is fiber I've had for a long time. No idea. I can't remember where I got it from. I want to say I got it from Michigan Fiber Festival. And it's been a long time since I've been there. So it's been years. And it is 100% alpaca. And it is like straight from the farm alpaca. This thing has been like hand processed or something. Like, it's a giant bat, basically. I keep looking down because it's down here. I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is my little sample of it. It's all natural brown. It's pretty soft. I keep kind of holding it against me. I do feel like there's some like prickly, like some alpaca. So it's not like I feel like there's like little hairs that are like, I want to say they're called the guard hairs, where they're like the long kind of wiry white ones. I want to say those are what's making it a little bit prickly. So like, I'm thinking like some sort of cape, something that you wear on top of your clothes. So not like a sweater, because a sweater would be cool, but I feel like I would be itchy. It would maybe be itchy. Unless I made it big enough, like a cardigan style that you wore on top. I mean, I don't know. If I sit here with this, it's not that bad. But I don't know. When I kind of hang it on my neck, it feels a little bit scratchy. It's hard to explain, but it's very soft at the same time. But I just feel like it has that little bit of that prickliness to it at the same time. So it's rustic. It's definitely rustic. It spins very rustic. This is probably, I try to aim for like worsted. But it's definitely a little thick and thin, because there are some like, it's just, I kind of just do what the fiber wants to do. I don't really I don't really worry about like if there's little chunks that come through, and if it gets a little thick, I just leave it. So, and I honestly, I just feel like it still looks pretty. So, and it'll look really pretty knitted up, or crocheted, but I think a knit cape would just look really cool. So in this like really pretty brown color, but this is the bat. Okay, so I couldn't tell you how much it weighs either. I haven't weighed it. I probably knew when I bought it. But yeah, there's a lot of these like long stringy hairs, and there's a lot of VM in it, so vegetable matter. So every 2 seconds I am stopping and pulling out these little chunks or these little bits of like hay. Because I don't want to, I mean, there's going to be some in there because I can't get it all. But like these little bits of hay, and like if I shake it, they'll kind of come out. So it's very farm, it's a farm, straight from the farm type thing. So like this thing is huge. So, so I've been just ripping off chunks and spinning them putting them into the thing. So this is like this is the chunk I'm working off. So I will pull off strips of it like this. So I'll take a strip and I'll make it a big long strip. So it's like, it's a big long chunk of roving. But then you get to these ends and yeah, they get kind of weird, and that's where they get a little lumpy, which I could just like throw these out, but I don't want to waste it. So I've just been making them a little lumpy. But let me grab the wheel here carefully. So this is what is on the wheel so far. So I pulled off the little sample that I did and I started another chunk again. So that is where I'm at. And I mean, all in all, it's going pretty well. It's just fun to sit down and turn it on and not have to worry about it. I mean, the pedaling, I love my wheel downstairs. I honestly should get something on there too, because I have the woolly winder, which is so it automatically moves back and forth, so you don't have to stop. You can just pedal. And I have a single. I maybe wish I had a double, but you just kind of tap your foot and you don't have to ever stop until you have to like get more fiber. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. This one I have to stop a lot for picking out chunks. Yeah, you can see just right here in this piece, like, I don't know if you can see all those little bits, like, of like hay or something. And there's a ton of them in there. So, I mean, I know, like, yeah, you try to get those out when you wash it, but they're farm animals, so they're very farmy. So I'm pretty, like, again, I'm pretty confident I got that from Michigan Fiber Festival. I just kind of want to get rid of it. I want to use it, but it's like taking up a lot of space. And it's been there for so long. And I think I tried to spin it on the eel wheel when I first got it. And then I couldn't get it to work. It is a little slippery, but I don't know, it's working good now. So knock on wood, we can continue to have luck with that. So I think I might knit this up and just see what it feels like as an actual knit sample. And, you know, see what needle size I need. That's kind of why I figured I would just do a little sample. And then, yeah, I need to find something for this. I am like dying for something instant gratification again. So I actually started to crochet a mesh top last night, but then it was too small. Like you're supposed to do like 2 panels, and I thought I measured it right and I didn't. So then I ripped it out. But I have all these like single skeins of cotton. So like they're not enough to make like, and they're like the smaller versions of this little sugar and cream. They're, let's see, I think they're only like 120 yards. Yeah, per skein. So I mean, I could make something striped, but I don't want something striped. But like I have all the, of course I have a white and then I have an off-white. So I mean, like clothes, like I want to make like some tops or something, some like little. I don't necessarily want a bunch of crop tops though, and this would make a bunch. This would probably, I could probably get away with making like a bralette or a crop top with one skein. So I don't know what else to do with these. I was kind of perusing Ravelry last night in bed, when I should have been going to bed, looking for like simple projects. What did I find? I found a cute little handbag that I might try to do. It's like, and that could be 2 colors maybe. But I was gonna do this mesh top, and I was gonna do 2 colors. I'm gonna do one side in one color and one side in another color, and then it could be reversible. So that could be kind of fun, but I kind of just want it all white. So I might end up just starting it with this white and then going to the store and buying another one. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm antsy. I should be working on my Lotus skirt. I haven't touched it since I showed it to you. Try to work on that this weekend. I am excited to get my new sock machine, so that'll get me moving on some. Those are kind of instant gratification because you can crank out a pair of socks in like an hour. So, and there's other patterns you can make on it that I'd love to try. You can make little like jewelry change purses if you get the little clasps. I don't know, there's just lots of fun things I want to try. Ornaments, I can make more ornaments for Christmas because we're halfway to Christmas, right? So that is that. That's everything for the week. So, life. So here's the life part. So if you are done and you're just here for the crafts, then I will see you next time. If you are here for everything, then I'm going to talk about my life. I try not to cry, but I'm going to cry. So it's been almost 2 weeks, and we lost Sadie, and it's hard, but it's okay, and I am okay, even though I don't sound okay. I'm okay. It's just been really weird because that's it. We have no more pets. I have makeup on too. I don't want to cry. So I appreciate everyone who's commented. Obviously, you know, I posted all over Instagram and Facebook and here and everything, so I appreciate everyone's kind words. Obviously pet loss is, if you're super into your pets like I was, it's super hard. It's like losing a member of the family. So, and Sadie was 20 and a half, and yes, that half matters. She really pushed it through. And it just, it's like you don't see you don't see it when it's right in front of your face as much, like the decline, until you kind of look back, and it's like she was like really good looking around Christmas time, even though she was still having issues at that point. And then even up until like mid-May, I had pictures of her and she was still laying in the sun, kind of curled up. And it's like, come end of May, June, it was just, she was struggling. So, we ended up moving her to the basement because she couldn't make it to the litter box. And that was pretty much the decline was pretty strong after that, which was obvious. She couldn't move her. She couldn't get herself around. She had some sort of cancer probably. And it was affecting like her intestines and probably affecting her legs. She also had arthritis, and I was trying to give her supplements. She was getting B12 shots, she was getting steroids, she was getting like Dasequin, which is some kind of like, vitamin for joints. She was also on blood pressure medication, so like she was getting a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, she couldn't get herself comfortable. Like she had a hard time she had a hard time just existing at this point. And then the weekend hit before we made the decision. She didn't eat. She wasn't eating. So she was drinking a little. She would eat a little, but she wasn't eating. So she was like, she'd eat like, I could give her the churros, which are little stick treats. She would kind of eat those, and then like she'd eat half of one, which, like I in my head, that was one of those like mental signs, like, okay, if she's not eating the treats, then that's my sign. And again, she was like laying on the ground. She would be laying kind of flat with her head just down. She just looked miserable. So Jim happened to have that Monday off because we had a financial planning meeting that I didn't go to. He ended up going to. But he called the vet for me in the morning and made an appointment so we could all be there. So, I mean, all in all, it worked out as best as it could have. I mean, like Devo, it was a sudden, like he had a whole slew of problems too. But it was like, I took him in because he was having trouble walking. It's kind of the same thing. Like he had some sort of tumor in him too. So they probably died from like the same thing. But again, he was 18, she was 20. He was 18 and a half. She was 20 and a half. So like, it was like, it was time. So, one second. Anyways, so they were both just old with old people problems, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So it was sad, but it's like losing your grandmother at 90 something years old. That subsequently happened the same, like a week after Devo. It's sad, but it's like you more think about how lucky you are to have had that time with them. So I was very lucky to have the time I had with both the cats. So, but it doesn't make it any less sad. I mean, in a way it does make it less sad, but it's still sad. So I'm moving on, but I of course can't talk about it very well. So there will be cats in the future. I've already kind of played with the idea of trying to look into shelters and stuff this summer, but I don't know yet. Ideally, it'd be nice to get some new kittens in when the kids are home from school. But again, that's I'm like scared. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared of the responsibility again. I've not had a kitten for 20 years, essentially, because I got Sadie and Devo when they were 3 months old. It was a whole nother life. Like, that was a whole nother life of mine. And I was in an apartment. It was just like whole, like now I'm in a big house. I'd have to like quarantine them somewhere, and it's just a whole nother level. So it's a little scary, but that's where I am. But I'm getting back into the groove of, you know, getting back into doing the things I want to do and whatever. But summer is like jam-packed with the same stuff. We have robotic stuff. We have music lessons. We have scouts. It's like, it just doesn't stop. And I don't like it. It's great for the kids because it's like they have things to do because they're too old for like day camp now. So like this keeps them going, and like they're all good things. Like music lessons are great. Scouts is great. Robotics is great. Like it's all really, really good, positive things that are great. But it's like, I just want to not do any of that. Thank you. So trying to make sure I incorporate time for me and my crafts and my channel and everything. So hopefully I will get back into the routine. But yeah, with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching this mess unfold. Thank you for your continued support. I did reply to all the comments that I could find. So the one thing that I can't, so when I go into the YouTube studio, I can see all the comments, the new comments, like actual comments. But then if someone replied to a comment, that doesn't show up. So if I didn't reply to something that if there was like a back and forth, like if someone made a comment and I replied, and then they replied back to that, if I missed that, then I apologize because I don't know where that would be. But if it's just a fresh comment, I've replied to all of them that YouTube showed me. So again, if I missed something, I apologize. If you have any questions, again, just reach out. I am one email away, and I am pretty good at responding to my emails. So that is the best way to contact me, or that's the best way to, maybe Instagram, but Instagram like hides messages and stuff, so I don't always see them. Facebook does the same thing. It's kind of weird. So emailing or commenting, technically emailing would be 100% the best way. If you had a question for me or wanted to tell me something, email would be the best. And then YouTube comments would be the second best. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you get to craft all the things. See you next time.